Hello YouTube, this is Kenny Beats here again. This is a update on the my Watt deck, and I'm aware that it's the same day as my latest update on my Twilight deck, and after doing that update I had a premonition, I guess, or an idea that what if I were to run Watts at YCS instead? It's something that, from what I've seen about Watts, it probably could be really good against some of the main meta right now. And nobody's going to be expecting them. So I had the idea of running them in place of it. I've moved around the deck a little bit. So before I start getting into the deck profile, after this video, I'd highly appreciate if you watch the latest update to my Twilight deck, so I can get a better idea of what I should be running. And if you could put some ideas below on what I should change or add to this deck, that would help against the main meta right now. And help me ultimately decide if I should run Watts or if I should run my Twilight deck. So let's jump straight into it. Get it jump 3-watt hopper. Yes, it still has the watt lock component of this deck. Have all three of him on the field. It's going to help me a lot while I have the other Watts on the field. 3 watt Giraffe, great searcher and great special summoner for this deck. 3 watt Cobra, great card for this deck. Helps me get the Watts that I need, and ultimately could help turn the tides in a game. 3 watt Giraffe can keep after attacking directly, can help my chances of winning by keeping my opponent from doing anything drastic afterwards, such as once he attacks directly, my opponent can't trag or gores anything, which is awesome. So I don't know if the timing's missed, but he's a great card nonetheless. Hopefully I was right about that. 2 Watt Squirrel, my favorite double attacker, as I said in the last video. He negates everything that he battles, so it's great. I cut down to 2 Watt Fox. Even though he's a great card, once he's destroyed, my opponent can't basically do dilly shit for the rest of his turn, or the turn. So, great card. And that's it for the Watts. I'm not running Watt Pheasant anymore. So, going into the rest of the monsters. 2 Thunder King. Great card, great against the meta. If I could get him first turn, that can ultimately turn the tide in the game for my favor. I know it might be conflicting with the Watt Cobra, but that's why I'm running 2 instead of 3. But why not run him? He's a great card, and he's a 1900 beater, and I can negate a special summon, so it's awesome. 2 Effect Veiler, great card. Helps me stay alive, stuns the opponent, and it's a good 1-star tuner. 1 Honest, keeps my monsters alive if they're attacked. Sangan to search out basically almost all the cards in this deck except for the 2 Thunder Kings and Gores. I know that with this deck I'm going to have kind of a little bit of field presence because I do run a little bit of back row, but if the time comes that I need him, he's going to be big help. My last 2 monsters, 2 Summoner Monk, and one of the things that I've wanted to do with this deck is turn it and have some Exceed summoning going on with it, and this helps a lot actually. Place him down, get one of my wall monsters out, even though it won't be able to attack. I might have something else in my back, not in my back row, but something that will keep him alive. Say if I have the Watlock out, boom, have him out, he's great, keeps me alive. And either that, or I could just go, which preferably what I would do, is Summoner Monk, switch him in defense mode after sending a spell and pulling out, put a Thunder King out on the field. Lock my opponent down somewhat, or lock us both, but he will help so much. He can help me get out rank 4 seeds pretty quickly. That's it for the monsters. Going into the spells, 2-pod duality adds consistency to the deck. 1-for-1 helps me get out my Wildhoppers, and unless I've already gotten out the Wildhoppers, helps me get an effect failure so I can synchro for first turn or whenever I need it. I need one more of these, but Infernal Reckless Summon targets about every monster in this deck as far as special summoning goes. Get out all the monsters I need for a Watlock, or swarm the field with Watts and Watt Giraffes or Watt Cobras and attack directly. Also, that's it for not staples, but for staples, got Mind Control for Synchro Summoning and Exceed Summoning, or just to get rid of pesky monsters on my opponent's side of the field. Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, triple MST, just in case. Like I said, other one, I don't run it because there's not much back row in this meta. Well, there's a lot of decks that are running skill drains, and just there is a lot of back row out there still. After looking at it, some of the latest YCS deck profiles and such, so might as well run 3 as far as I'm concerned. But that's it for all the spells. Going on to the traps, I got 2 Want Cancel, the Solemn Warning of the Watts, and I don't have any more Solemn Warnings. If I did, these would go out, but as of right now, these are 2 great replacements for this deck. Couldn't run it in any other deck, but great card. Just the only difference, instead of 2,000 life points, I discarded Watt Monster from my hand. Then there's a new card, which is The Huge Revolution is Over, and it's a new card that came out in the Order of Chaos, and it's a nice counter trap. When a spell or trap or monster effect is activated that would destroy 2 or more monsters on my side, or 2 cards, not monsters, 2 cards on the field, just negate it and banish that card. So if I'm facing a Judgment Dragon, I can just go boom boom, just activate this, I banish that, it's gone, I don't have to worry about it anymore, or at least for a little while. Or if there's a Dark Hole or Heavy Storm, or just basically if Mirror Force, yeah, great card. Starlight Road, run 1, because I do have a Stardust, and it does basically the same thing, except for instead of banishing the card, I get to have Stardust on the field. So that's why I'm running 1 of each, in case I want to banish something, in case I want to get my Stardust out. And Torrential Tribute, because it's an awesome card, especially in this meta when I'm facing windups, Insectors, or Dino Rabbit. That's it for the main deck. That's 41 cards, I believe. Great deck, no, yeah, I think it's a great deck, but let's jump into the side deck. 2 DD Crow, great in this meta. 1 Watt Fox, there's a third. I like it because it has stun capabilities. The third Thunder King, in case I ever need to sight it in. Raimei. This is a great searcher card for 2-star lower light monsters when it's destroyed, so I could get my Effect Veilers to my hand if I need them, or my Watt Foxes, Watt Hoppers, or my Watt Dragonflies. So it's a great card. 1 DD Warrior Lady to get rid of some of the pesky monsters that are out there. 1 Cyber Dragon in case I face any. I just throw him out in there because he's a great 2100 beater. BLS. I do have I have 4 darks in there in my main deck, and just depending on the game I might throw him in. So 2 Watt Lead to help with special summoning of getting the Watts out quicker, or the Thunder Kings, whatever floats your boat. Great card. 2 Smashing Ground to get rid of those high defense, or just get rid of pesky monsters in particular. Mirror Force, keep my monsters alive, and proxies for 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. No need an explanation for that. So, and extra deck, I got Magical Android, Rhionic, Watt Chimera, Gaia Force Knight, Watt Hydra, we got Black Rose, we got Ancient Fairy, we got Stardust, and we got Thought Ruler Archfiend. That's it for the synchros. Getting into the exceeds, we got Gachi Gachi, which I could get out with the Watt Dragonfly. And he adds defense to the deck and a little bit of offense because they also get an attack too. Lava Air, in case I'm facing those pesky decks that remove from play stuff, and I could just have him on the field and able to get some of the remove from play monsters my opponent has that are 4 stars or lower. 2 Leviathan Dragons, 1 Utopia, and 1 Zen Meister. And that's it for the deck. And as I said, comment, subscribe below. Help me decide out which deck I should run. And yeah, subscribe, comment below. This is Kenny Beats signing out.